Hello everyone, to all my trapezoids out there. I have to admit, I know I haven't made any videos in a long time, and I've been focusing more on my college and my other channel where I am doing more of those Decades of Horror videos. And this is not, I repeat, this is not a video to tell you what I'm going to do next, because I am going to keep doing stuff on this channel. Don't worry about that. To get more fans, don't worry about that. I will definitely do more to get more fans for you guys. The past videos I've noticed are not working in the way that I want to try to do things, and I'm sorry for that. I guess I've been going down a path like I did before I started doing my Decades of Horror videos on my channel, Boink the Clown. I admit I have done some things that I feel like are more entertaining for me than for you guys, and I understand that some people find other things different, and I still want to do the things that I find funny because that's how I feel. But I also feel like because these videos are not working out, I feel like I have to do more for you guys than other things. I will continue. I will bring some of the videos from my other channel over that are on private right now. I will bring them from that channel over to this channel and let you see if you like them or not. They're supposed to be entertaining, so if they're against you people that are politically correct or whatnot, I'm sorry, but again, this is just in my past and trying to get it out. Hopefully I can get a better perspective of things, or I can get the same perspective I got before. And I will also get over some of the other things that I wanted to do, like because I'm a psychology major and I'm a theater arts minor. I will continue to do the Disney villains therapy thing, but in a better format. Continuing on with the Fantasia villains onward. I will discontinue the YouTubers I would work with series, because I feel like that's not doing anything, and that is just from my personal experience, be reaching out in the only way I thought I could. This video, though, unfortunately, to my trapezoids, or the little amount of trapezoids I have, is different. This is not a normal vlog. This is just a vlog that I wanted to get out. And this is all to my American viewers, if I have any. I don't fully check on my subscribers, but when I do finally check up whenever I get more, I will definitely give more shouts out to those who give me suggestions or give me pointers or point me out to friends or whatnot. You know, just let me know in the comments, all that kind of stuff. But for right now, I'm not doing that. This is different. The elections that we had in 2016, November 8th, are elections. We do have a new president, and most of the millennials are pissed. And I'm going to give... Okay, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to give my opinions, and then I'm going to give some details on the victory, and then I'm going to give who I wanted to win and the aesthetics of what this could mean, and then I'm going to give something else special. So starting off with the things that happened. Donald Trump is now our 45th president and a new president-elect. Some are pissed, and some are happy. And the way I look at it, from the campaigns and the person themselves, I didn't stand for either one of them. And let me rephrase this. I know this is going to piss off a lot of you millennials, and I know this is going to piss off a lot of you veterans. But I'm not here to make amends or friends with anybody. You know? This is my opinion. This is my point of views, whatnot. Let's start with Hillary Clinton. Her husband may have done a good job, and as a political stand-in, a lot of people in the older generations, whenever he was running the country, and some of the newer ones during his time, some of the slightly old, like the middle, almost middle-aged people, I should say, thought that Hillary was running the country during him. But no, he was even his staff admitted that he was running the country effectively. Um, the thing of it is she is a terrible human being based on what happened with Benghazi and all that type of stuff. But, and this is a big but, she claims she was a savior for civil rights and women's rights and all that type of stuff, but she effectively killed that off when she was effectively getting rid of women and that either slept with her husband that was going to support her, or didn't fully endorse some of her ideologies and pushed them away. The same thing for the civil rights people. She did a lot of tragedies, and I don't get how some of you people could think that she would have been a great leader. I honestly don't, because basically in this election we had to pick between the worst of the worst. Basically, Hillary Clinton is one of the worst, ill-prepared politicians there was. I don't give a crap if she helped out Bill. Helped. That was what the quotations were for. She barely helped out Bill, and she wasn't prepared for it. And if I do want a woman president, I do. I want a female president. I'm not a feminist, and I'm not a sexist or anything like that. Because I believe that we deserve a female president, but someone that's more justified. Someone like, if Michelle Obama was willing to do it, I think she would be perfect. Because Obama wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great either. No president ever is fully capable of being good, except for, well, I don't know, maybe Teddy Roosevelt, who I would rank as #1 on the presidential list. And before you ask where Abraham Lincoln is, this is my opinion. I'm just stating. Back on the topic, because I know I'm getting off track. On the opposite spectrum, we had Donald Trump, who's the farthest thing from being a conservative Republican. In fact, he's more of a Democratic Republican at this point. He's basically Thomas Jefferson with a comb over. A very, very blonde comb over. Do I believe in his policies? Hell no. His policies were, like, terrible. That's all I have to say. They were terrible. But let's look deeper. They're not his policies. They're Mike Pence's policies. Because Mike Pence is the stereotypical conservative Republican. And whenever he picked Pence, it was spelling the end of Trump being looked at as this good human being. That's whenever all his friends in the celebrity pool turned on him. Well, most of them. Including a long, good, outstanding friend of his, Snoop Dogg. Because Mike Pence kept whispering in his ear, "Tell him you're gonna build the wall. Do it. That'll get you elected." That's what happened to George W. Bush. Fear sells. Do I think he could have the potential to be JFK? Hands down. But we'll get to that. As the policies and the politician that he was playing, because he's an entertainer, let's be honest. He was an entertainer. He played the game. He won the game. He's a winner. That's what he does. As a politician, I don't agree with him. I don't like him as a politician, because whenever he was doing his campaign, he was an atrocious person. An atrocious human being. A horrible man, a horrible leader. On the other spectrum, though, under the surface, because I've done a research for a class that I just left the semester, like just 2 weeks ago. In my personality theories class at college, we had to do a paper on Donald Trump. Donald Trump has two distinctive personalities. There's the raging, arrogant, egotistical narcissist, the politician that we saw during the campaigns. Then there's the underlying real Trump. There's the kind, generous, charitable, decent, working class hero, so to speak, man, which is what most celebrities were turned on to before he did this. And what had happened was both sides bled over. That's why he got so many mixed reviews from people all over the board, because that's why his policies changed and whatnot. It bled over because the stress broke him. He wasn't prepared for this. And honestly, even though he's a businessman, he's still not prepared for the outcome. You could tell on his face whenever he met Obama, he's not prepared. That's why he's working with lobbyists, despite the fact that he's an outsider and doesn't really want to work with lobbyists. He realizes he has no choice because he doesn't know anything. And what he does know now terrifies him. That's why he changed a lot of his policies in the long run. But let's look at it another way too. He's also an entertainer. And as an entertainer, he played the game to either piss off the Democrats or to win over the Republicans. And what'd he do? Pissed off the Democrats and won over the Republicans. So much so that our country rose up and we elected Trump. And before we'll get to the outrage and the backlash, you know, because I got a lot to say about that. So we elected Trump because we are sick and tired of a political correct society, for one, and two, we're sick and tired of having a very lackluster society, is a better way of putting it, because we were a country built on the premise of fighting for what we believe in, fighting for things that we wanted. Like, we were fighting for tooth and nail to have jobs in our country, because we were a country built on a big booming economy and a working class economy and all these other types of things, you know? And we didn't fully have that under Obama, because, no offense to the man, he was a wonderful president in his, not so much his foreign policy, but inside the country he did a lot of good things. And even though Obamacare was a kind of a sham in some areas, it did have some good, but it was also a sham in some areas. Let's be honest, every politician has good and bad. We we weren't the nation we were. We didn't have all the jobs that we needed in our country and all this type of stuff, and the veterans weren't treated as good and all these other types of things. So we voted Trump for a change, because it doesn't matter. People were saying we're never going to get another Republican president after George W. Bush, and I knew that was a lie. I knew it was a lie. I knew the second that Trump came in and he won the primaries, even before the preliminaries, I knew he was going to get to the end, because he's just a whirlwind of controversy, and controversy creates cash. So say if Eric Bischoff on his book title, so say if I, because it's true. Controversy creates cash. And the way I use it in this context is simply meaning controversy created a good presidential candidate. We got Trump because the controversy he let kept people talking about him, so much so that even if you didn't want to vote for him, it gave him power. So much power that he's now the leader of our free world. And I know I'm sniffling a lot, and I'm trying to minimize it because I want to get this out. But my nose is itchy, and I apologize. I really do. I apologize, guys. Now, let's get to the after effects of the election, or in this context, the aftershock of the election rumblings. Because I'm I'm on this aftershock wave, so to speak. That's why I'm waited so long, because I wanted people to realize that what they're arguing about is just ridiculous on both sides of the spectrum. For one, Trump does not support KKK and all these other types of stuff. He's not a racist. He's not this type of guy, despite the fact what you want to believe. He's been friends with several black people. He's helped out several black people. He even allowed several other black people on stage to work with him or to talk with him and all this type of stuff. He admitted Obama was a good guy. He's not a racist. Can't be a racist. If you like someone like Dennis Rodman, you can't be a racist. And that's saying something. I'm sorry. That's not saying something. Saying that you like and appreciate Kanye West and have him helping you on your transitional period for the presidency, which says a lot of horrible things about him, because even I admit when you have Kanye trying to help you, you've kind of hit rock bottom, because that guy is an atrocious wreck and he sucks. And people that like him are stupid. I'm sorry. It's true. It's true. He's an idiot. But, you know, if he can like Kanye, he can't be racist. You can't be racist and like Kanye. Because you're just at the bottom of the barrel. You can't be racist at that point. Because you're just at the bottom of the barrel. But the millennials, and this is coming from a guy who's 23. I was born in 1993, so I'm still in that millennial era, even though I consider millennials 97 and down, because the most millennials that were trying to get a little blankie in a fucking, you know, Baba bottle after the election results when Hillary Clinton didn't win, because I'm so sad my candidate didn't win. Fucking grow up, grow a fucking pair, quit being pussies. Okay, let's be honest here. Our country's not, this is not the first racist president we've ever had. Even Wanda Sykes agreed to it. Our first openly racist president was Andrew Johnson. And he wasn't even elected. He was forced upon us when somebody decided to go ahead and assassinate Abraham Lincoln. So we had no choice but to deal with him. This time, I can see why they're mad, because we did pick him. But, you know, not our first racist president. He's not racist. Let's get that out of the way. Let's ignore that. Is he misogynist? Yes. Even I have to admit that. I am a supporter of Trump in the fact that I think he could be like JFK, because JFK didn't really know too much whenever he became president, and look what happened. He did good things. But, you know, he could also be bad. He could be terrible. He could end up like someone like Warren G. Harding with so many scandals and whatnot. It could end up being disastrous. But, you know, these millennials are dragging out, and even the celebs are just pissing me off, because they're like crying and saying, I'm going to move to Canada and all this type of shit. Don't say it. Just go and do it. We don't need you if you're going to be a little bitch about it. This is not what this country was founded on. This country was not founded on, if you don't get your way, you be a bitch and whine and maybe it'll change. And all these dumbasses thinking that, you know, abolishing the Electoral College after the elections have already been decided is going to get Clinton in office. One, you're a dumbass for wanting Clinton in office. Two, that's not how it works. The election's over. Therefore, you abolish the Electoral College. That's a step in the right way, and even Trump wants it abolished. But the election's already decided. Abolishing the Electoral College does not make the Electoral College's abolition create a new president, and it's for it. The only way that we could have a new president at this point is through impeachment or assassination. And do you really want Mike Pence as our president? Because let's be honest, you impeach or you assassinate Trump, we're stuck for 4 years with Mike Pence, who is the Antichrist of the Republican Party. And that's saying something, because they have sponsored something like Mike Huckabee for many fucking years, and Jeb Bush. Oh, and let's not forget Mitt Romney, okay? Mike Pence is worse than those three, and those three, we all realize how bad they are, right? We all realize that, right? Even John McCain should be on that list, but he's not as bad as those other three, but still, he's worse than those three. Do you really want someone who wants to get rid of the gay marriage, who openly does not want immigrants from any form, does not want Muslims because he thinks they're terrorists, and does not believe in public education like some of the other people that is now on Trump's cabinet? Do you honestly want that? Because he's going to keep Trump's cabinet whether he likes it or not, because it's all Mike Pence's cabinet at this point. It's not Trump's cabinet. It's not. He has to work with these people because they're lobbyists and he needs them. This is not Trump's cabinet. If it was Trump's cabinet, Kanye West would be in the cabinet. The only one that I could see fully being in Trump's cabinet as a Trump pick would be Linda McMahon, and that's only because he's worked with her husband for years. And even Linda McMahon went against what he did in the campaign, and yet she's working for him, which says a lot. But we don't want Mike Pence, so we're not going to get Clinton. Get it out of your heads. We're not getting Clinton anytime soon. And after this, it crushed her so bad, she's never going to run again. I'm sorry, she's not. And it's a good thing, because I don't think I would want Clinton as my president. Do I want Trump as my president? Not necessarily, no, but I'm on the bandwagon of Trump in the long run to see what he's capable of. Now, if he starts fucking up, I'll be right there with you saying, hey, look, Trump is not a good president. Because we can be critical of any president, but we can also look at the good that one president does. It's never the personality you should look at. It's the person. It's the policies is what you should look at as a president, not the person itself. We've had a lot of douchebag presidents come into office, and they've done some wonderful things. Let's be honest here. Presidents like JFK, who was a misogynist, a womanizer, and openly a terrible human being, a part of the mafia, did wonderful things when he was president. Ronald Reagan, who is one of the nicest, funniest human beings that we ever did, despite his certain bad things that he did, he also did some good, and we have to look at it as political, not personal at all, political. So, with that out of the way, all I gotta say is you millennials need to fucking stop. You celebs that are saying this stupid shit and getting all crybaby fetish. Look, some of you I appreciate as artists, as actors, as entertainers, as all this type of stuff, and I would love to willingly work with you, even though this is probably acting like my career suicide note. I would love to work with some of you, including George Clooney, Robert De Niro, Miley Cyrus. I like her music. That's what I'm getting at. Katy Perry with her music and all this other type of stuff. It saddens me to see how pussified some of you, including the older ones like Robert De Niro and George Clooney. Look, I get it. You supported a party and you lost. But that's what we fail to realize. No politician and no person should be backing 100% a political party. People even stated it by saying that we voted someone like we had Teddy Roosevelt, and we even elected him to another term, mind you, who, even though he was a Republican during that switch, whenever Republicans became conservative and Democrats became liberal, he was more Democrat than he was Republican, and he was a good president. In fact, number one. Remember, he was number one on my list because he did a lot of good. And he didn't believe in the political party system. He believed that the person himself can be the political great that they can be if they believe fully in the good they can bring to the country. And that's Trump. Sorry to say it. Which now leads me to my big announcement. As of today, I realize, as of recently, and even more, including today, I realize that we as a nation, we do not want someone who's a politician. That's obvious when we didn't elect Clinton, for one, and two, whenever we got sick of and tired of Obama at the beginning of his second year in office, and then by the time we re-elected him, his 3 months into a second term. And we're also not really looking forward to somebody that doesn't have political stand, is like a political background, like certain other people in history that became presidents had. Like Herbert Hoover was a businessman before he became president. Let's be honest, despite the fact that he's in the Great Depression era, again, I'm sorry, despite the fact that he was in the Great Depression, and people want to say he was the cause of it, he wasn't the cause of it. Wrong place in the wrong time. He was a businessman. He was not a politician, and we elected him. I know it's a different time and a different era, but people got to realize, if you're looking at a political stance, which, you know, if you're going to be president, you have to have some political know-how and some knowledge. Trump does not have that. I get that, and that's where I get a little iffy with him. But I could have been a political science major. I could have been a lot of things, you know. And what I really want to do, before I make this announcement, I want to make it obvious. I am an entertainer. I do videos on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a daredevil. I am daredevil stuff, whatever you want to call it. I'm a musician. I know a couple instruments. I know how to sing a little bit. I can dance a little bit. I'm training. I've done some karate. I've trained for, my dad taught me some boxing. I've trained a little bit with some MMA. And I've done wrestling in high school, and I'm trying to do something, so inevitably whenever I want to go into the WWE, I can. I'm an actor. I'm a producer. I'm a script writer. I write scripts. I'm a director. I'm a comedian. I want to do stand-up comedy too. I want to do all these types of things. I want to, I want to direct. I want to do all these types of stuff. I'm an entertainer all around. I want to do all this types of stuff. I want to do wonderful things. But despite the fact that I want to do all these things and, do these YouTube videos and show my opinions and utilize my talents, because there's a lot of things I could have been. I'm an ordained minister right now, too. I have a degree that I got online, and that shouldn't give away any credibility from me, because that's still a big thing. You get it whether or not it's online or not. You haven't. You know how to use it. You know what you're doing. I could have been a zoologist because I love animals and I know a lot about animals. I could have been a history major. I know a lot about history. I could have been a political science major because I know a lot about politics. I could have been I could have been a music minor to some degree. I could have been this, I could have been that, because I believe it's necessary to dabble in everything in order to be a successful entertainer. With that being said, there is one thing I'd like to announce. No, I'm not going to stop doing videos. Even whenever after I make this announcement, and if I win, I will still make YouTube videos. I will still do a lot of things that I want to do. I promise. By the way, I want to write books too. Short stories more like. Because of what I've noticed, and I'm going to set up a new Twitter account, and I've got a lot of people backing me. I'm going to try to do this without money, with little political experience, maybe one office hold. That's it. And a couple other things that I want to do to help with this backing. But I'm trying to do this without too much money. I don't want to spend too much. Some money should help, but not a lot to it, cost too much, and it ruffles my jimmies, so to speak. By 2020, when there's a new election going on, I'm going to start making videos. And I'll have a new Twitter account. to do this, and I'll have somebody handling my Twitter account. I will be making new videos, new Twitter posts to help back my 8-year-long struggle, so that whenever I finally turn 35 in the middle of 2028, I will run for president in 2028. And it doesn't matter which party I'm a part of. Democrat, Republican, does not matter. When I get it to where I want to get it, I will run for 2028. And I know there's a lot of people out there wondering, well, why are you running for 2028? Why are you not running for 2020? Because in 2020, there's going to be a lot of other people to fight. And as you already probably found out, I won't be eligible until 2028. And the reason why I want to go for 2028, the year I turned 35, is because I want to make it known that somebody different should take the throne. I'm going to look for either the Democrat or Republican nomination, and I'm going to play those games effectively of how I need to play them to win, because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to win. And when I win, what I'm going to do is a lot of things. I do support Trump and bringing jobs back. I support that. Our country does need more jobs. Now, I'm not full-blooded conservative, and I'm not full-blooded liberal. Farthest thing from it. I'm independent. I've always been. But we need jobs in this country, and if it does well with Trump, continue it with me. Doesn't matter which party I am, but I will play those parties politically, effectively, how it is. So if my opinions change from then, it's only because I realize something else, or I'm playing the game. 2, I will effectively help the education system. The No Child Left Behind and what came after that is shoddy, okay? We need to revamp our public schools, our colleges, definitely, with the tuition and whatnot, and private schools, and a few other things. You know, middle schools, high schools, it doesn't matter. Every school needs some revamping. The foreign policy is simple. We work with other countries, but we make boundaries with those countries, because we do not want countries stepping over us. Okay? Russia's iffy, so we'll be playing that effectively. We have to play Russia effectively because they are the only ones on par with us right now. Everybody else doesn't really stand a chance, for one. And two, most of them are either our friends or our enemies, and our enemies can get smashed effectively. With their system in North Korea, having them have nukes is fine, because effectively I don't think they have the technology yet to do anything. When they do have the technology, we'll play that game effectively too, because Russia's the only one so far with the nukes that are going to go against us if we ever go to war. They're on a thin ice spectrum. As for Iran and Iraq, Iraq has no nukes. We know this. Iran and Afghanistan is a tricky situation. I don't think that we should have troops over there. And I don't think that we should do anything until something bad happens. Because Iran's all talk, and Afghanistan really doesn't have any leg to stand on. That's how I feel. And I will not wage wars unless it's necessary. I don't believe war is a presidential know-how to use to utilize foreign policy success or country success or whatnot. None of that. Unless it is necessary, no. And I would not use nukes. I refuse to use nukes because nukes are never the answer unless it is 100% absolute. And even we don't know if it's 100% absolute ever. Another big policy of mine is I feel that Native Americans, which I've been a big supporter of Native Americans, and I have Native American heritage. We'll just leave it at that. I've been stepped on. Gay rights is a great step. It is. I support it. Civil rights was a great step, and I also support that. So where's the Native American rights? I feel like we should give more rights to Native Americans. Give them back their lands. And it always pisses me off when somebody goes around and says Andrew Jackson's a wonderful president, even though he made the Trail of Tears a possible thing. How can you be great whenever you're killing off several other Americans or people in general? That's ridiculous. But Native Americans deserve more rights. I also believe that weed should be legal in every state because it doesn't harm anyone. It's not bad per se. And if you can legalize it in every state, you can regulate it on the powerfulness of the plants, specimen, and whatnot for different diseases. It's a great herb to help with fight diseases, bacteria, and all sorts of other problems. It's been shown to do this, which is why Colorado, California, and a few others have legalized it, including, I believe, Vermont is another one. Those are some of my stances. Not all of them, but some. So that is my announcement that in 2028, whenever I am 35 years of age, I will be running for president. After I've already held an office of some sort, after I get some stuff to help me out with some backing and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. Everything will be necessary when I go into it. And I hope to God, whenever I do turn 35, that they will allow me the chance to run for either one of them. Please, either or. It does not matter. Please, either or. I will support and help your party, whatnot. But, just like Teddy Roosevelt, you should never measure the man for his party. The party does not define the man. The man does not define the party. The views of his politics defines how well he runs the country, and his views on life, love, and the pursuit of happiness is what defines the man. So, I'm leaving it at that. Those are my opinions, my views, and there will be another video for my trapezoids at January 1st. I want to say I would try to do it on January 1st. If I don't, it will be a short time afterwards. But it will be based on the stars and the loved ones of famous loved ones we have lost this year. Because this year has effectively been much more heavy with celebrity losses than the past 2 years. In the past 2 years, we saw a lot of good people die, like Wes Craven, Roddy Piper, Christopher Lee, Robin Williams, and whatnot. You know, that's just a small majority of them. But that is another video. It's more of a tribute to them and their lives than a celebration of their death. Because that's what we should never do. We should never celebrate the death. We should celebrate the person and what they did. Not all of these people are good, and some of them you can hate, because not all the people that I posted on this list will be good or have done good things. These are just people that have passed away. And most of the ones I have posted on the list are good or are decent human beings. So with that announcement out of the way and the announcement of my next video, I just want to say thank you to my trapezoids for hearing me out, listening to me rant and make my announcement and all this kind of stuff. Thank you for listening. I promise I will do more videos. I promise. And I am grateful and thankful for you guys watching this, because I don't try to croon as much as I have in this video, and I apologize for that, but thank you so much for watching this. And if you give positive feedback or negative feedback, any feedback is good feedback. Although I will waver on the negatives, because I believe that the negatives should be more of like, you can do this better or whatnot, you know. And I've been trying to up my voice, because I know I can talk soft, and I've been trying to up my voice so that way, you know, it booms and people hear me better. So comment what is good and what's bad, and comment whether you liked it or whatnot. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So thank you, and I appreciate everything and everyone for watching and listening to this. So goodbye to all my trapezoids, and I will see you in another video. Bye bye.